everyone, welcome back. We're at Griffin in the second half of March, and we're picking up where we left off last time. Largely, we've got our plow working over here on, whoops, can't see very much through the trees there, can we, on the northern part of the meadow, and I'm just about to define a new field on this southern end of the east meadows. So I'm just in the mower. I'm going to turn on record, which will give me a start point. Put the mower down and turn him on, and then I can drive around and just define the edge that I want to have on this field. What we're trying to do here, this will be our grass field that we maintain for the moment, and so what we want to do today is just get a little bit of grass off it which we can put in the fermenting silo before we go ahead and plow it up and replant a better quality grass crop in here, because at the moment we're just getting the meadow grass. So that's the cut we're taking off at the moment. But if we just mark out the edge of the field that we want here, because we know it's just a grass field, we've got a pretty good idea of the equipment that we've got on it, and you can see the cut that we took last time. So we're just going to try and take a little bit more. Hopefully this deer will move before we get there. There we go. We'll stay clear of the trees. So this is quite a large area nonetheless, and should give us a good load of grass to put in our fermenting silo to keep the cash up. We've got another load or two there that we can sell based on what we put in last time. But we'll get the mower going on this as soon as we've marked out the edge of the field that we want. Here we go. And the plow is making good work on that course we set up last time, or if you remember, traversing the fields anti-clockwise overcomes the bug in the width of the implement, so that allows that to work fine. We'll leave plenty of border here between the wheat field and this pasture so we can get vehicles up there. Just come around the corner. There we go. It's just a good way to do the field like this. So we'll just pull up there when we've connected him on. And if we come across to our course play, we can turn that off. We do want to save it, yes. And if I just pop out of the vehicle for a minute and go into course play, we can see that field. We can select it and we can give it another name, which we'll go with Grass meadow. Fairly descriptive. I have had a couple of suggestions for field 35. I'll just keep that open for a bit longer, but I would like to give field 35 a new name. And so 7.5 acres is a pretty reasonable amount of grass, so that'll work pretty well, I think. So that's all good. And we can get back in our unit here and create a job, which will be on this field. Our target position is here. We want to open and close the course generator. Let's do 3 headlands, round corners, little overlap. Let's see what that generates. I think that'll do just nicely. Looks like it's given us a different start point. So we'll go, which way is it going to traverse? Let's duck over there. There it was. So I'm hoping I can pick up the second, or the second headland. Whoops, I left the mower on as we drove over. I guess that happens. Then we'll just start you off. And away you'll go. So how's this guy going over here? Ploughing's progressing pretty well. So that looks good. We might come and take over from this guy in just a second. How many headlands has he done? I think we set it to 4. And our oat field that we planted the other day hasn't struck yet, so we can just wait for that to pop up. And next time we can start to deal with a little bit of fertilizing. So that all looks fine. Let's go check on the cows. This is our cow pen here. There's 36 of them in there. They look like they're coming along pretty well. As you can see, the values are starting to pick up. They've got plenty. We could probably do with some more water, so we might do a run across to get some water. And at some point, but we've got that dozen that are 3 months old, half a dozen that are 5 months old, and half a dozen that are 2 months old. So a reasonable age spread. And as you can see, the only ones that have done some breeding are at 18 months, and they'll give us some more now in another 10 months or so. So the plan with these, they max out at 3 years of age at $3,600 from memory. So the plan is to get 2 more loads of calves. So the last lot of calves will actually come at 37 months. So we miss a fraction on the top price, but we get 2 more generations out of the animal. So I think that'll work well for us, but it does mean we need to keep our fermenting silo cranking to get us some cash, to get us through that period. So that's where everything is there. We will be able to put some more oats in that field. And so what we'll do here is fill up our seeder. Where are we here? Just a little bit of positioning. That's it. And we'll go get the last bag of seed. And we can getting a little low on seed, as it turns out. Let's see how much we've got in the tool. $379. That's not going to be enough. So we'll finish the ploughing and duck down to the store and buy some more seed while we're still cashed up. Why are we unfolded there? We need to... No, not that one. So it was Shift J that allowed me to close back up those markers, or the arms. So let's turn that off. Mower's making good progress on that odd shaped field. We'll just wait for it to pass us by here. And we'll just stop this John Deere because he's now in the up and downs when we know there's an issue with the definition of the plow. So we'll just finish this off. Rather than leave stripes that require us to double work the field. As you might have noticed there, we kicked over another operating hour on this John Deere, which is doing quite a lot of work for us. And the consequence of that, of course, is that cost us another 6,000. So the way it's working out is I'm kind of looking at it, a load out of the fermenting silo gives us the ability to operate this tractor every day. So that's not too bad. And as we progressively get better on top of our field preparation here, we certainly shouldn't need to plough again next year. That'll help us keep our costs under control. Goodness, I didn't do that very well, did I? We'll come back and get those. So it's just about tuning our cash flow to cover our regular operating costs. That's the key. But that's that field done. And so what I'm thinking, before we do run out of cash, we'll duck down and buy another couple of bags of seeds so we can make sure we definitely get the oats in here. We can also sell some more silage, and that will be good. So we'll get that tractor started on the seeding. You won't get too far before running out. Let's see here. So you need to be one of these. Create a job. Field position. Starting position, hopefully somewhere around there. Let's do 3 headlands. Start on the headland. Sharp corners. Generate the course. Start. I'll let you go and sort that out. And I'll see you when we've got a trailer load of silage down at the animal dealer. So we're back at Larson's with a full load of silage, which we will unload. Only take us a moment to empty it out. It's not a particularly big trailer. But nonetheless, that's a nice... yes, I agree. Just over 7,000 in the coffers there. So if we duck across to the dealership, we can pick up the seed. I'm thinking we probably want to get 4 bags of seed to make sure. I wonder if our little utility will tell us how much that grass meadow needs to seed grass. Let's see, grass meadow. Show seed consumption for... oh no, we don't need as much as I thought. So... we should... northeast meadow. for oats. So 2 more bags of seed should be plenty for now. Seeds, we'll get 2 bags of seeds. And we will want some fertiliser to spread. So while we've got some cash in hand, I think we'll get a couple of bags of fertiliser. That's better. Then we just pop that other one in the middle. We'll just drop this seed off. Looks like the mower finished, which is great. Seeder has run out, which is to be expected. It'll take only a second to fill it up. We should be able to fill it straight out of the back of the ute, I think. The only thing is, that's what we want. We do not want the fertiliser. Back onto nearest waypoint if we find our course over here. Something like that. And there we go. Hopefully that will be sufficient seed to finish. And we'll just go and get out of the way. We've just kicked over another hour in the other tractor, so it looks like we're going to go and have to sell another load of silage actually. Keep the bank manager happy. Back at Larson's again. This pretty much empties the fermenting silo, so we really need to get it stocked up with that grass we've just cut. Which probably means the next order of business is, of course, picking it up, but we should row it first so that we don't have to work the tractor pulling the forage wagon quite as hard. So we'll get a helper on the tedder, on the windrower. and then we can get started just picking it up. We can drop you off and grab the forage wagon. Oops. Let's try dropping you off rather than picking you up. It looks like it just didn't pick up the outermost row. So we'll start here somewhere. Big question is, will we fill up before we catch our windrower? I don't know. I'm not picking up particularly quickly on just this little dregs on the outside, so could take us a little while. So at the moment our financial plan is to get back on top of our cash flow to the point where we cover the costs of leasing a harvester and a header. That's the first objective. The next objective is to be able to buy some more cattle, some breeding cattle, or some calves to keep our cattle pipeline developing. And as those calves will go close to filling the pasture that we have, then the step after that is to add an additional pasture. So all of those things, I'm guessing, will require somewhere in the order of 50,000 in cash, maybe a little more, maybe 60. And so that's the way we're going. That's a good 10 loads of silage at our current trailer size out of the fermenting silo, or about 200,000 litres of silage. So we're going to get at least 60,000 off here in a single cut. In fact, the way we're going, because that's about one of these forage wagons full. So if we could get 2 forage wagons full, that'd see us sort of 2/3 covered in that cost profile. Of course, the other thing that happens next month is we have some fabric to sell. So that added to the silage should get us really through that next level of expense. And then we get the wheat crop in and hopefully start to, because the next sort of items on our shopping list after that are some pieces of equipment. We hope to get a little bit of a cash balance so that we can take advantage of second-hand equipment when it comes up. It would be nice to replace the plow, for instance. We'll need a cultivator and a weeder for next season. And the cycle will repeat, so it'll, I think we're looking in good shape to get 2 forage wagons fulls off here. I don't think we'll get 3, which would give us almost the 200,000 of grass that we need, but we'll get 2. So that's how the cash position is playing out. And the other thing that we'll get to see presumably next month is how many farmers have planted cotton, and whether that's going to help us keep the spinnery running or not, because the spinnery, I haven't checked. We could go and check when this fills up. But the spinnery is getting very close, if it's not already, out of cotton. Just take that little bit there. So there we go, that's full. So if we go to the spinnery, and the spinnery is empty. So it's processed. We've got a couple of pallets of fabric stuck outside, stuck inside, and I think there's 4 outside. So that's 6 pallets of fabric. We can deactivate it. There's no point paying for running costs. And if we go to fabric, 6,500. So next month it'll be up near its maximum. So that's 6 pallets, probably 40-odd thousand. So that'll be pretty helpful too. So we should be able to expand the cattle operation and cover our cover our operating costs and that head of harvest, the harvester leasing. So we're just at the sort of turning point financially, it feels like, having got these crops in. We may also need some, well, we almost certainly need some extra money for fertiliser, so but that's okay. This will start processing now. So 60,000 litres in there will start working its way through the system also. Yeah, so we'll end up with a good 3 loads for next month. So probably quite a bit more. So if we get an opportunity in the sales, we don't have the cash at the minute, but for a bigger trailer, that'll reduce the back and forth as we go to sell. We know this trailer isn't particularly helpful because it runs into its weight limit anyway. Well, it would appear that our worker has gotten itself in a tangle with the windrower, so we might have to go and rescue. I was hoping that it would figure itself out, but it's been reversing around that circle now for enough time for me to drive up and back, so it's probably quicker if I go and fix it and finish the course. Given that there's not a lot required. So we'll just turn off here. There you go, love. Give me a go, you've got yourself stuck. The seeder's out. It's all happening at once. It's a little bit messy, but it'll get the job done. $70 litres ought to be just about enough to finish this off. $170 litres, I should say, should be enough to finish this off. Let's see what we're doing here. There we go. It got very close to finishing it, just this little stripe here. We don't have a roller, so we can't take care of that job. Let's just finish you up there. I'll finish picking up this lot, and that can do us for today. We've almost got the second forage wagon full here. The sun's starting to get a bit low in the sky. So I think I will just finish this off, and you'll see where we end up next time. All I'm going to do is put it straight in the fermenting silo, of course, and we won't have a full third load, but we should get a reasonable amount. So that's been a productive day. Thank you all for watching. Look forward to seeing you next time. See ya.